Buckeye Nation. What's poppin'? Crazy Dog coming at you once again on the Buckin' Crazy YouTube channel. And I know what y'all are thinking. Yo, dude, the rankings have already been announced and released and stuff. Why didn't you go live for that? To be completely honest, I completely forgot about it. For some reason, I thought it was at 8 o'clock and not 7. I checked Twitter and they were already talking about it, right? And I got onto ESPN and they were already in the top 15. I'm like, damn. I could have, cooked up a quick stream, got on before the top 10 were announced, but nah. I'm just going to sit back and let them release it, let it marinate a little bit, and then we're going to look at it afterwards. And I also got some other stuff to talk about as finalists for all the prestigious awards have been announced, except for the Heisman, as far as I'm concerned. I don't think the Heisman's been officially announced yet, but a lot of people already have a good idea of who's going to be a part of that award group. But all the other prestigious awards, their finalists have already been announced, and we may or may not have another boom possibly coming up as well. But before I get into the awards and the Boom Watch edition, shout out to everybody watching tonight. This is the third to last, I believe. Yeah, the third to last rankings reveal of the year. You have the one coming up after rivalry weekend, heading into conference title game weekend. And then the very last one coming up after that. That's the final and the official one. The one that means the most. So, of course, before we get into the bracket, we got to take a look at the rankings and see if any teams were bounced out and everything, right? So as I get it up here, here's a look at this week's top 25. Again, you have some new faces, right? Of course. Top 5, no changes. There was only really one change in the top 10 for the most part. That was Ole Miss and Oregon. Oregon jumped up a spot, I believe. You will notice at the bottom, Arizona. Wow, the Wildcats are back in town, in the top 25. Tulane, obviously the highest ranked group of 5 team. Georgia Tech, Pitt, SMU, Arizona State, Tennessee, Virginia, USC, Texas. That's the top 16. The team up north is in 15th. They're setting themselves up to jump all the way up, possibly in the top 10. I mean, heck, top 5? That'd be one hell of a jump if they were to win this weekend. But you already know, I think Buckeyes are going to take care of business. Ohio State can bury the team up north. Essentially end their regular season and have them getting ready for some freaking New Year's Day bowl game. Right? Vanderbilt, yeah, they're still lurking. Utah, the U, of course, BYU. That's their top 11. And then, of course, top 10, like I said, only one change for the most part. That was Oregon and Ole Miss switching spots. Oregon jumping up a little bit. Now we take a look at the bracket. Sorry, Ryan, of course. And yeah, first round. I know the first thing you guys are looking at that are watching this. The first thing you guys see. Oregon and Miami. Now, anyone who's new to the sport, you're like, what's so special about that? Well, who's the coach of Miami? Mario Cristobal, right? Mario, once upon a time, coached and they were pretty successful. Not as successful as they are now, but they were pretty damn successful. Yeah. Mario Cristobal was there for only a handful of years. He bridged the gap between Willie Taggart, who was there for 1 year following Mark Helfrich's departure. Taggart took over in 2017, went 7-6. They fired his ass or whatever. He left. Mario Cristobal took over for the bowl game, which they lost, the Las Vegas Bowl. Mario would then go on to have 4 extremely successful years at Oregon. 9-4 in 2018. Yep, very good year. Then 12-2 in 2019. Back-to-back bowl game wins in the Red Box in 2018. They won the Rose in 2019. Was that against Wisconsin? I think it was. It might have been. And then, of course, 2020, they go 4-3, losing the Fiesta Bowl. And then in his final year, which they didn't know it at the time, he went 10-3. They lose in the Alamo Bowl after Mario dips and goes to freaking Miami. Of all places, Miami, Florida. Man, that's crazy, isn't it? Brian McClendon takes over for the bowl game, and they lose. Again, in the Alamo Bowl. They just can't seem to win that damn bowl game, you know? Las Vegas Bowl in 2017, and then the Alamo, of course, in 2020. Or 2021, yeah. And then they go out and they hire this defensive coordinator from Georgia, Dan Lanning. And since Dan Lanning has showed up in Eugene, they have won double-digit games every year. They have not had, in fact, their losses have dwindled every year. 3 in 2022, 2 in 2023, 1 last year, and so far this year they have 1 as well. That 1 loss, though, came to Indiana. Yeah. So, pretty sure if you went to Oregon, that crowd would be as hostile as it's ever been. Because I don't really know too many Oregon fans on here. Obviously, Duck's House. He's been lurking on the main channel, right? But I can imagine they have a certain animosity towards him being Mario, right? And I'm sure Oregon fans would love nothing more than to watch Dante Moore and company go out there and put a nice little belt, have a nice little BTA session with the U. Yeah. Carson Beck, like with Miami. That would be a fun game. Beck versus Moore. 2 really good offenses. But the difference is, I trust Oregon's defense way more than Miami's defense. For real. Yeah, because of course Dan Lanning's a defensive coach. He takes pride in the defense. So of course, the defense is going to go out there and probably shut down Carson Beck. Tough. Now, the other 3 first-round matches would also be low-key bangers, I think. Notre Dame, Oklahoma. Right? Notre Dame going to Norman. Ooh. That would be fun, not going to lie. John Mateer and Brent Venables coach team against Marcus Freeman. And Notre Dame trying to get back to the national championship. But you see who they would face if they were to win? Yeah, that's right, guys. They win that first round matchup. They got to face Ohio State. I think in the Rose Bowl, too. Ooh, I would love nothing more than to get another crack at Notre Dame again. Yeah, because this time they wouldn't have the guys that they had last year. Jeremiah Love is still there, but they don't have Riley Leonard at quarterback. I bet CJ Carr's their quarterback now. But of course, if that were to happen, if we do face, regardless of who we would face in that matchup, the Twitter beef between the two fan bases, regardless of who it is, be fun, be entertaining. I mean, we don't really hate Oklahoma that much, but Notre Dame, oh God, man, really get at them last year a whole lot. Not like Tennessee fans. Oh God, no. You look on the opposite side, right? Top right corner, Alabama and Ole Miss. Now that's going to be an interesting one because, in case you haven't heard, maybe you've been away from technology or you've been out in the middle of the wilderness or you just haven't been paying attention. Lane Kiffin has been the subject of rumors and reports for the last few weeks talking about what's he going to do. Because, in case you haven't noticed, Florida and LSU, and even Ole Miss, mainly Florida and LSU, have been having like a tug of war for Lane. They've been having a shouting match like, I want him more. No, I want him more. I'm going to get him. No, I'm going to get him. Lane could easily just troll them both and say, who said I was leaving? Going nowhere. Expect me to go to Baton freaking Rouge? Or Gainesville? Oh, I'm going to stay here in Oxford, Mississippi. Do you realize what would happen if they make the playoff? Lane Kiffin's going to make his choice, like what he's going to do after the Egg Bowl on Friday. In any case, again, let's take a look here because I got to make sure I get the time right. I'm pretty sure the Egg Bowl is on Friday, but I'm certain it's like early in the day. So you know what that means, right? The moment that game ends, everyone's gonna flock over to Twitter and just wait for that Pete Thamel tweet talking about what's he gonna do. The moment that final whistle sounds, the wait's on. Ready. So they will be playing Friday at 12. So by the time 3:30, 4 o'clock rolls around, everyone will be on lane watch. We could get an answer by 4:30, as early as like 4:30, 4 o'clock, right after the game. He might even say during the game, like, after the game's over when he's getting interviewed or whatever. They'd be like, what you doing, Lane? He'd be like, I'm going to go home. This is what Lane's going to do. They're going to ask him, so what are you going to do, Lane? He'd be like, I'm going to go home. I'm going to get me some food, and I'm going to sit back and watch these rest of these games. Like a freaking troll. What he's going to do is he's going to wait until probably Saturday evening to make his choice. What he's going to do. He's going to make him wait. Because he knows he has two fan bases, or essentially three fan bases in his hands right here. No matter what, he could go on Twitter and just start trolling everybody. Liking stuff, posting stuff, because he's a troll. Mm-hmm. That's what he does. He's a professional troll that also is a head coach. Miss does lose Lane Kiffin. And they make the CFP playoff. You have to wonder what his new team let him coach the bowl. Let him coach the CFP playoffs, right? Because he helped them get there. I'm sure whatever team he would go to would let him do it. It's only fair, right? I mean, Oklahoma State, they're hiring North Texas's coach, and they're letting him coach the bowl game. That's only one game, though. Lane Kiffin does coach Ole Miss through the CFB playoff, even if he does leave. That's going to put his new team in a bind. Really? But recruiting wise, it should be easy because whatever team he goes to, that team's going to get a surge of Ole Miss commits and players flipping and transferring. And kids in 2027 are going to be like, I want to go play for Lane. But then it's like the transfer portal opens up. They're going to be popping, but he's also got to coach his current team. That locker room is going to be weird too because it's going to be awkward. Honestly, I think if he leaves, I don't think they let him coach. I don't see it. I mean, would you let him coach? It'd be like, yeah, putting in your 2 weeks notice and still working. Everyone's going to look at you going, man, I can't believe your ass is going to Baton freaking Rouge, or I can't believe this dummy going to freaking Gainesville. And everybody in that locker room is going to be like, your mind's not going to be locked in. Imagine that, right? If he does coach Ole Miss through the playoff, even though he's leaving to go to whatever, that locker room ain't going to be the same, man. They're going to be like, yeah, Alabama going to cook them probably. Alabama's going to be fully locked in. DeBoer, he ain't going anywhere, right? Barring something crazy with Penn State or whatever. Imagine DeBoer leaves out of nowhere for Penn State, and then you end up having two teams facing off with no coach. I haven't heard anything about him going to Penn State, so I'm just saying. I'm just throwing crap at the wall. Just be hilarious. Speaking of coaches leaving, you have John Summerall with Tulane. He could potentially leave. I heard he was he was supposed to meet with Florida. Not sure if that happened. But you're facing Texas Tech, right? Texas teams love throwing money at players. Winner of that game would face Georgia. And of course, A&M would face the U or Oregon. And Indiana would face Ole Miss or Bama. So, honestly, I like this bracket. For Ohio State, it'd be a fun road. That's for sure. Going from OU and Notre Dame in the second round, and then facing either Georgia, Tulane, or Texas Tech in the semifinal. And then whoever else would be left on the other side, you'd face them in the national championship at Miami. You know what would be really messed up? If Miami University, if the Hurricanes made it to the national championship, and they'd be playing a home game, but they'd be the road team. I already know if that were to happen, Miami fans would not be shutting up for the entire time between games. Right? Because in their minds, they're like, oh, it's time to get revenge. It's time to get revenge. And what would happen is we'd go out there and put BTA on them and shut them up even more. Ruin their team again. I don't even know if they're even going to make the college football playoff. Right? I mean, you look at the freaking rankings. If you take Miami out, who would you put in? Vandy would be fun, though, not going to lie. Diego Pavia and his mother. That's the reason why they put him in there. It's like, hey man, why is Vanderbilt in the playoff? They don't deserve it because of Diego and his mother. His mother? Yeah, his mother. Do you realize if they did make the CFP playoff, you know what everyone would be saying? Yo, Diego, how's your mother? Where's your mother at? Let me get at your mother. That's how you get in his head. But how about your mother, though? And with your mama jokes and stuff. Your mama in the stands, huh? Your mama watching you get your butt kicked, huh? Where's your mama at, huh? Diego, huh? Bringing your mama everywhere with you, huh? You know they ain't here to watch you. They're here to see your mother. Man, that's how you get in his head. Man, ain't nobody here to watch your bum ass boy. They're here to watch your mother. Where's your mama at? That's messed up, but that's just the way it be. Man, his mother's dating like some podcaster, like so fun. Johnny Manziel hanging out on Vanderbilt's sidelines too. Like, why? Hey Johnny, you're the team you played for is in the freaking hunt for a CFB playoff berth. Where is he at? Vanderbilt. Sick. Now, right away, I'm gonna give my predictions here. Off the bat, Notre Dame, Oklahoma. Say Notre Dame escapes with that one. I want to get another crack at Notre Dame. Eating them is so much fun. So I'll say Notre Dame over Oklahoma. Texas Tech over Tulane. Alabama over Ole Miss, especially if Lane's leaving, because I don't think Ole Miss is going to be all locked in. I don't even know what that locker room would even look like. Because Lane says he's leaving. You do know, I'm sure everyone realizes this, if Lane, like the moment he says, I'm going to Gainesville or Baton Rouge, the majority of that roster is gone. But don't forget, though, players can't officially transfer until that team, Ole Miss in this case, gets a new coach. I think you have like 5 days after they hire a new coach before they can officially before they can enter the portal. That's the way they have it now. It's like wait and see how you feel about this coach, and then you can enter the portal if you still don't want to do it. That's the way they got it now. And then in terms of OU, the U in Oregon, I gotta say Oregon wins because I can't trust Miami's defense. Like they could score all the points in the world, but they can't stop freaking Oregon. In my opinion, yeah, yeah. I'd have to say Oregon over Miami, Texas Tech over Tulane, Notre Dame over, and Notre Dame over Oklahoma, and Alabama over Ole Miss. As far as second round goes, Ohio State over Notre Dame. Duh. I'm gonna say Texas Tech with the upset over Georgia. Upset, big time. Yeah, Tech upsets Georgia. Alabama rolls over Indiana, and A&M really beats Oregon. Like, really. And then in the college football semifinal, Ohio State beats Texas Tech, and Alabama beats A&M. And we get Ohio State, Alabama in the national championship, and Ohio State wins. Definitely not a homer take. So, with that, we're finally done with that now. 24 minutes plus, and we're finally done with the CFB ranking. Let's get into the other stuff that's come out today. Starting off, of course, with the big time awards that were revealed. Caleb Downs, as you see, he's nominated for 4 trophies. Let me actually go through because for some reason they didn't label them. But let me go through all the trophies that he was nominated for. So Caleb Downs is nominated for 4 trophies. He's a lot finalist. The Nagurski, the Thorpe again, and the Bednarik trophies. It's pretty impressive. I think he could win at least 1, maybe 2. That'd be fun. Next we have Caden McDonald. McDonald He's nominated for the Outland Trophy, which is the best interior lineman on both sides. It's him and 2 offensive linemen. That'll be fun. I think he could win that, but it'll be tough again. Facing 2 O linemen. Then, of course, we have Julian Sayin. He's nominated for the Davy O'Brien Award and the Maxwell Award. I think he could easily win one of them, especially if he leads this to a another championship or something. You know, Big Ten championship, continues this run he's been on. It's possible, very possible. Of course, as you would expect, Jeremiah Smith once again nominated for the Boletnikoff Trophy. Yeah. Was he nominated for it last year? I don't know if he was. He might not have been. Remember, Travis Hunter last year dominated the awards ceremony. He practically took home half the awards himself. So we'll see how many different winners we get this year. Hopefully a few Buckeyes bring home an award or two. Which last year we had a few award winners. I know Seth McLaughlin won an award. That was pretty cool, right? But that's all the awards that we've won. Pretty impressive, right? Pretty damn impressive. And now, before I wrap this baby up, I do have one other thing to talk about. And that, of course, is another potential boom watch. As earlier this evening, Sam Spiegelman and the Fong man himself, Steve Wilfong, submitted not one, but 2 crystal balls for LSU defensive line commit 3-star Darius McKinley. And for any recruiting aficionados, if you remember that last name and how it's relevant to Ohio State, his brother, Dominic McKinley, was one of Ohio State's top targets on the D-line a few years ago. Ohio State, as you know, I think they finished second for Dominic McKinley. And the vibe around the fan base and the forums and such, and on Twitter, is that you land Darius McKinley, you're probably getting his brother. Yeah. That's the expectation. You land one, you're getting the other. It's like a BOGO offer. Buy one, get one. I guess it'd be a logo offer. Land one, get one. Ah, that's funny. Yeah, Davey O'Brien, the best QB award finalist. Julian Sayin, Marcel Reed, and Fernando Mendoza. How about that? So let me just check on 3 real quick, just to see if we get any updates. And again, just a reminder, we're still waiting on CJ Bronaugh. For some reason, he has been completely radio silent in terms of his commitment. We don't know if he's going to stick at Florida, if he's going to leave for Ohio State, if another team has jumped in and made things even more interesting. Nobody knows. Nobody at Ohio State knows. Nobody at Florida knows. He's just gone completely radio silent. I have a theory that he's probably going to wait until around signing day to make his choice. I'm just looking through Twitter right now to see what people are talking about. Most painful flips? Oh God, what's this about? And Steve Wilfong posted in this forum I'm looking at, talking about another. I'm not gonna say much because I mean it's from Wilfong, so I'm not really gonna. I mean, Not gonna go crazy with that. Let's see what people said about the most painful flips in the forum here. Last 5 years or so, the last two that hurt me the most were Jordan Battle and Clark Phillips. Oh my God, Clark. Went to Utah. Man. Someone said Justin Scott. Of course, because the U took him. Battle stunk. Oh, damn. Alex Gleitman throwing shade. He said he's maybe he's saying he's stunk. I see. Jaden Woodby. Those are the two that I instantly thought of when I saw the thread. Facts. See what other people say. Bijan Robinson. Yeah, that was bad. Johnny Townsend. I didn't even know he was committed. That was some years ago, though. Bijan was 1,000% a silent commit. Yeah, he said it on the interview. He was committed to Ohio State. Then he had a meeting with God, and God said, Danny Clark. That's a name I haven't heard in a while. Danny freaking Clark. Wow. He had to cover up a massive tattoo. Stroud called him out about it when they were on the Pivot podcast a few years ago, mostly joking. But you could tell he wasn't happy when it happened. I mean, why would he be happy? You were ready to get it going with Bijan. You find out this dude flipped. It's like, I'd be pissed. And I would hold it against him too. But man, you could have been a Buckeye, fool. All right. What else are we talking about here? How about this one? The fun part about being in the forums is just getting all the good information, right? Gotta be careful though, because when the beat writers saying stuff, they mostly don't want you to spread it. That was just a fan-led forum, so that's whatever. Hmm. What's this about? Oh, Micah Smith possibly flipping in Illinois? Please imagine that. Interesting one. I wonder what I'm doing. I'm literally just looking through the forum on 3 just to read what people are saying. Nothing, nothing that would, put someone in danger, like someone's job in danger. It's just fans talking about flipping and stuff. It's interesting. Steve Wiltfong said in a forum post talking about, in addition to Darius McKinley, there's another flip potentially in the works for Ohio State. Doesn't say who it is, and it's not Bronaugh. And I don't think it'd be Latimer. It's interesting. So you know what this means? It means this baby's going to get another run. It looks like the spatula. Man, it's going to be weird when signing day comes and I can finally put this thing away. I have to get it like cleaned or something. It's been hanging out in my drawer here, low key collecting dust because this is a prop I use for the flip thing, because again, flip, you know. I should just buy one. It'd be cool if they had an Ohio State themed spatula. Just buy one to use as a prop. Well, so Darius, CJ, and the other flip, I'm ready. Bring it on. Yeah. Ready to go. Okay, so yeah. One of the Ohio State writers says it's not related to Bronaugh. Uh, Eli Ricks. Oh my god. That's like It's an inside joke on the forums for Ohio State. You talk about flipping, and someone will always bring up Eli Ricks. But he's in the NFL now. That's not going to happen. That's funny. Okay, wow. Uh, Man, when I see that crystal ball pop up on 3, that'll have me going crazy. Jonah Rodriguez, North Carolina, another dude that YouTube University was going after. Man, they are swinging and missing like nothing we've seen before. YouTube University. And if you're wondering who's that, it's Colorado. Man. Mm. Vero Beach. Oh yeah. Oh, that's funny. The forums are always so much fun this time of year. We love it. Waffles. I wish. Landon Barnes? Kate Martell. Yeah, I'm sure. Sean Lindsay? Oh, yeah. God, I remember that name. John Lindsay and Trayvon Grimes, they were hyped to be like two of the best receivers in the country. Trayvon, I think, played like 1 year at Ohio State, and he left because of family matters. Went to Florida. I think he played like a couple years in the NFL, and that was it. John Lindsay, I didn't hear a peep about him ever since he left Ohio State. Uh, Man, if it's like Luke Wayful, I'm gonna freaking go nuts. Well, Landon Barnes too. KJ Ford. Honestly, I should ask: is it someone that's been to Columbus before for a visit, or is it someone that we have not even had in for a visit? Well, I think I'm gonna wrap this up, and we'll see if anything breaks. Back, guys. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up, guys. So again, if anything breaks, you already know where I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be right here with my spatula. Yeah. So it's even more important now. Hmm. It's even more important now to have the post notifications turned on. I'm also 3 subs away from 200 on this channel. I'm gonna keep cooking on this channel, man. It's gonna be fun. We are almost 1 week away from National Signing Day. And I'm probably gonna have a video for it too. And if there's like any big time possible commits on signing day, which could happen, I might go live for them. Be fun. So with that being said, oh, that being said, guys, shout out to everybody who popped in. I know I don't usually get a lot of viewers on this channel. It's just, you know, see y'all later. You already know I got the spatula on me. Like my spatula on me. All right. Hopefully we get some action this week. That'd be fun. Right. But with that being said, I'm Crazy Dog coming at you on the Bucking Crazy YouTube channel. Let's go, Bucks. OH. I'm out. Bye bye. Yeah.